Hello and welcome. I am Maestra teacher. I am a genet and bilingual teacher, and I've been teaching 5th grade for over 20 years. If you click on this video, chances are you either are a new 5th grade teacher or you just be moved around from another grade level and you want to know what exactly you will be teaching in 5th grade. In today's video, I will be discussing with you 10 different things that students should know in reading as essential skills before actually moving to middle school. This will apply to genet students as well as bilingual students. If you are new to teaching, you should know that what we teach, the curriculum that we teach, is based on the academic standards that are dictated by each individual state. I teach in Texas, so the ones I'm going to be discussing are mostly about Texas, but I'm sure that the other states have something quite similar for the reading class in 5th grade as well. The first thing students in 5th grade will be tested on and should know before moving forward to middle school, either if they're genet or bilingual, is that they will be tested in vocabulary. Vocabulary is extremely important and is tested over and over in those state tests annually. When it comes to vocabulary, there are 3 main things that students should know before moving forward. The first one, of course, they're going to need to know how to find the meaning of a word using a dictionary. So this is something you will be teaching throughout the school year, how to use a dictionary. It could be a paper dictionary, or nowadays, since most things are done in computer, it could be a digital one as well. Another one, or another way to find meaning of words, is of course using context clues. So you will have to teach the student how to look around that word, previous sentences, the next sentences, all over that paragraph, for them to kind of figure out what is the meaning of the word without using a dictionary, just by using the clues in that same paragraph. And of course, the third one is using root words such as Greek, Latin root words, word origin, in order to know the meaning of the word if they already know the origin or the root word for it. The second skill that you will be teaching for sure in 5th grade and the student must master in order to go to middle school is making inferences. What is to make an inference? Well, it is basically when you use the evidence and try to support the understanding. You use that evidence to try to infer, try to guess what is happening in the story. So students must use their previous knowledge, all the clues in there, or the keys, all those. They have to become detectives in order to try to infer what happened in a story or in a given paragraph. The third one is called the central idea or main idea, in which basically you have to teach the students that the central idea is basically the most important message of the passage or whatever is it that you are reading. You have to teach them that the main idea or the central idea could be explicitly there, or they have to imply it. Fourth one is summarizing, how to write a summary, or basically long story short. That's what I teach my students when we are writing a summary. If you're writing a summary about a fiction story, then you have to write, you can use the strategy of beginning, middle, and end, what happened at the beginning, middle, end. But summarizing is for sure going to be tested in the standardized test. That's one of the questions that comes over and over. What is the best summary for the passage? You will surely have that, so you will surely have to teach how to do a summary or how to summarize a given passage. The 5th one will be making connections, and that means that you will have to teach your students how to make connections. There's 3 main ways of making a connection: either the text to yourself when you read a story and it makes you think of something that happened to you in your real life, so it's a text to self connection. The second one is called text to text, in which you read a text and then it might remind you of another text that you read that had the same kind of information or theme. And the third one is, of course, text to the world. You may read a text and it reminds you of something that is happening today in the world. Now, for 5th grade, the one that they're going to be tested is basically text to text. So that's the kind of connection that I concentrate mostly on. They are going to have 2 passages and they have to make connections between passage number 1 and passage number 2. So you have to practice it that way in the classroom, where you're going to have to give the students 2 different passages and then they have to compare similarities or differences among those passages. Number 6 is known as text structure or organizational patterns. What does that mean? The students need to know how an author organized a passage. So there's basically 5 different ways. It could be sequence of events, it could be cause and effect, it could be a descriptive passage, it could be a problem and solution, comparing and contrasting. So you have to teach your students in 5th grade what are the different kinds of organizational patterns, and they have to know how to identify it when they are reading a passage. Number 7 is text and graphical features. What does that mean? You have to teach your students that when they are reading a passage, and this is a very important one if you have bilingual students or students who don't speak English well yet, ESL students, students who come from other countries and they are exposed to English now for the first time. Text and graphical features is extremely important for those kids because they might rely on them to understand better what is the story about or what is the text about. So text feature involves everything around the reading that the author provides to help you understand that. For example, it could be pictures, drawings, diagrams, highlighted words, titles, subtitles, captions, anything that helps you understand better, maps. So you will be teaching your student the different kinds of text features and how they can use them for their advantage. Number 8 is related to fiction, the elements of fiction. Of course, when you are teaching reading in 5th grade, you will have different kinds of genres. It could be non. But when you are teaching fiction, you have to teach the different elements of fiction. That includes the setting of the story, the characters, and in characters, you have to teach how the characters relate one to another, their relationships, their conflicts. You will have to teach the elements of plot, that graphic organizer that shows you what is the rising action, the climax of a story, the falling action, and the resolution. That is important. And you also have to be teaching them the different events in the story so they are able to organize the sequence of events, because that sequence will help them fill out the graphic organizers for rising action and falling action events. Next one we have, as I was talking about the different genres, we have poetry and drama. Now for poetry, students need to know what is figurative language and the different devices that poets use in their poetry to enhance it. For example, using similes, metaphors, personification, those kinds of devices, the students must know what each one is so they are able to identify in the test, in the state test, when they're asked, where can you find a simile here, where can you find a metaphor here, and so on and so forth. Students should also know what is a stanza, the names of the different parts of a poem, okay? And when it comes to drama, students should learn what is drama, that a drama is said to be acted on a stage. They should know what stage directions are. They should know the basic vocabulary related to drama, scenes, act, theater. Those drama concepts are important that the kids are familiarized with them. And number 10, the last thing I think all 5th graders should know is how to interpret author's purpose. Now, it used to be quite easy because you would teach that author's purpose was easy as pie, persuade, inform, entertain. However, now in 5th grade, it goes beyond that. So not only do they have to know that authors, of course, write to entertain, to persuade, and to inform, they also have to kind of put themselves in the shoes of the author because they need to analyze how, for example, using text features help an author achieve his purpose, or how does using similes or metaphors or devices in poetry will help that author achieve the purpose. So not only, again, they have to know the reasons why authors write, they have to put themselves in the shoes as an author to try to analyze how using different techniques help that author actually achieve the purpose that they have. So there you have it. Those are my 10 suggested essential skills that students in 5th grade should know before moving forward. Do you agree or disagree? Please leave a comment if you want to. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.